Alright guys, Pure Phoenix here, and I am back with my first video in about 6 months. I've had a long break from StarCraft due to playing all kinds of other stuff, but I'm back now, and this is going to be the last video I post on this channel. I do have a new channel called Pure Phoenix 1. The link to that channel will be in the description, and there should be an annotation on the screen right now. And so yeah, this game is between my good friend NotoriouS from Team Prodigy. Spawning is the red Protoss in the right of screen against the blue Zerg Savior spawning at the top of the screen, and I've been told that this is a good game, so we'll see how this one pans out. I haven't had a look at it myself yet. So yeah, new channel, kind of just a fresh start. I'm going to try to get back to posting daily if possible, maybe even a couple on days. I will do tutorials like I did on my last one, because a lot of people said that they found that helpful. And yeah, whatever really you guys want to see is what you can, and I'll put my email address for this channel as well in the description, so if anyone wants to email me some of their replays or ideas for videos, that kind of thing, I'll be sure to check it out and see what I can do to please everyone. So I basically just talked through the early stages of the game where nothing really happens, and now I can get on to some actual action. So NotoriouS from Prodigy has found Savior early, which is, I guess, a bit of an advantage. Savior is yet to locate NotoriouS. We have a look. Yep. So he's now just hanging around the expansion area, making sure that Savior doesn't get an expansion down, although he has gone pull down, so a spawning pull at about 15, maybe a more aggressive play. Although it looks like NotoriouS might just be going for a straight up Nexus first. Yeah, he is going to throw down that Nexus right about now. He's gone to 16 supply without getting a gateway. There it is. And there's the production tab. Spawning pool almost finished now, so Savior will be looking to get some Zerglings to get this probe out of the way, because he's still blocking that expansion and putting some good early game pressure on Savior. Now the Overlord is about to discover the location of NotoriouS, but it looks like it's going to be a little too late at this stage. So a forge going down now for NotoriouS, looking to seal off that expansion, I guess, with a couple of cannons to stop Zergling run-ins. Another pylon going down, and now a few Zerglings are about to pop and clear off that probe for good. Savior did try to get an expansion down, and look at that, NotoriouS has put in a pylon just to make life a little more difficult for Savior, and he will have to cancel that. There it is, and Savior will finally get down that expansion, but he's delayed it nicely. And yeah, Savior's getting his queen out now, but it might just be ahead on production, but he doesn't actually have any significant advantage at the moment due to the fact that NotoriouS's expansion is almost finished while Savior's only just started. So now Savior has no choice but to move out with these Zerglings and try to put on some pressure, and a cannon has finished as well for NotoriouS, so we might be able to hold off some Zerglings. Savior now puts down a third expansion. He knows he's behind and he needs to do something about it. This Overlord giving a good suss of NotoriouS's base. He's seen the expansion, is up and running, and yeah, NotoriouS now getting down a gateway, and he can go into any kind of tech option from here, running off two bases. So Savior might try to run a few Zerglings in. I'm not too sure if that'll actually have any effect due to that cannon sitting at that nice position at the back there. And a couple of queens out now, and a lot of drone production in order to saturate this new expansion. So he is ahead on the harvesters count, NotoriouS, by 5, although Savior is most likely going to catch up very soon due to the fact that he has 3 bases. And I don't think NotoriouS would be expecting a third base from Savior at this stage. He would probably think that they are both playing a 2-base game with NotoriouS leading due to the fact that he got down that expansion much earlier than Savior. So now a Zealot going around to have a quick look at the base. He might run into some Zerglings, he might not, and he might actually get a decent view of the base because there's not much to defend. Or will he see this third base? That would be an interesting... Yep, so he's seen the third base. NotoriouS is now aware of the third base. Harvester's count is almost level now, although it could be easy for NotoriouS to go and wipe out Savior's third base. So we have a Stargate going down in this sneaky little area, the Fog of War, so Savior won't be knowing about that. And some early Phoenixes of Void Rays could put some in a large amount of pressure on Saviour due to the fact that he does not have an evolution chamber for spore crawlers, and at this stage Hydralisks are looking a long way away. So he's completed his wall in now, Notorious. He's got upgrades coming in on the forge, ground attack upgrades, and he's also putting down a robotics somewhere. There it is. Whereas Saviour is still trying to work on his economy. He does... Oh no, harvesters are still equal at this stage. So for that fast third base, it's really not paying off. He's now leading it by 5 harvesters, but I definitely think Notorious has the advantage at this stage of the game. He's got to his higher level of tech. He's thrown down... So he now has 4 gateways, a robotics and a stargate. He's pushed out a phoenix for some overlord harassing throughout the map, which could be a very good idea considering he is droning so heavily. This will definitely put a stall on his economy growth. So now he seems to be getting Zergling's speed, although I really don't think Zergling's is going to be the right kind of option. He does now have a 1 evolution chamber and a roach warren, but that's really not going to help if Notorious goes for some kind of void raid from that stargate, which he does have the option of doing so. And ooh, could we see a drop from Notorious perhaps? He does. Where is he rallying that to? He's rallying a warp prism into the back of Saviour's main, and he could warp some in if warp gate research has completed, which... Yep, he's turning them all into gateways, and he might be able to warp some guys right into Saviour's main, which could be an interesting attack quite early in the game still. He might even be able to do some damage on the economy. So now 10 roaches being produced for Saviour, still injecting larvae, I'm sure. Yep, he's leading the harvester count by 9 now with this third base up and running nicely. So he's now got 3 phoenixes supporting this void prism. Roaches can't do much about that, although these Zerglings might have to just beam out of there and get out as soon as possible, but they might snipe a queen, which would be very effective. The Roaches have no chance of doing anything here, and it looks like he's going to need to get some spore crawlers down as soon as possible, and he's going to take out an Overlord too, it looks like. So an Overlord and a Queen go down without any significant damage being done on the Phoenixes. A lot more Overlords come out though for Saviour, so unlikely that it's going to be too great an effect. Now we might be seeing some Hydralisks or something now for Saviour. He really needs some kind of mobile anti-air units. Now he's dropped some Zealots into this third expansion, which is probably a pretty good idea. That Queen will go down. Spore Crawler popped though. He doesn't have a Spine Crawler, and he's definitely going to stop mining for quite a long time. These Zealots do have the +1 attack upgrade, so they're doing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, production continues for Notorious, getting a Colossus out of his robotics and also researching Thermal Lance to get that extra range, which would do a significant amount of damage on the Roaches and Zerglings. So unless Saviour transfers to some kind of tech like Infestors maybe, it looks like Notorious is in a very good position to win this game. More research being done for Saviour. He is now supply blocked due to the Phoenix pressure, and things are really not looking good for the Zerg player. This all started when Notorious blocked that early expansion, which was great early pressure. I don't think these Zealots are going to be able to hold this off, although these roaming Phoenixes are definitely doing more damage, sniping a couple of Queens. They do have to get out of there though due to that Spore Crawler doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I'm still waiting to see if Saviour's going to make some kind of tech change. He should know by now that he's really not in a good position. 3 Colossus out now for Notorious with the +1 attack upgrade. Another smart thing by Notorious was just getting those Phoenix out. He's managed to supply block his opponent, and now Saviour has definitely overcompensated, going to 200 max supply. He has 24 Overlords around the field, and they're not even in strategic viewing positions. They're kind of just clumped around the place. Like, look at that right there. Not much to defend that either. So Saviour's become a bit paranoid about becoming supply blocked, and he's spent way too much money on Overlords. So well played by Notorious there, and more Colossus being produced just out of that Soul Robotics bay. Looks like Notorious is in a great position. He might be down a lot on supply due to the fact he's now leading in harvesters as well. So Saviour's just got nothing really of substance. He's got a lot of Roaches on the field and some Zerglings. They have +1 armor upgrade, but I don't think that's going to be enough against 5 Colossus and a bunch of Stalkers. And now NotoriouS' third base is up and running. He's chucked down a couple more gateways with some cannons for support. I like that there. That's a very smart play. And 2 more gateways. So he's now running 8 gateways as well as this robotics. He probably won't use the Stargate for anything else. And now Saviour has moved this large clump of roaches out into the middle. That's at least 60 roaches. And they're going to start nibbling away on this rocks. And he might actually take down a couple of these gateways, but it looks like NotoriouS will be able to move his army into a position where he can just destroy those roaches. So now NotoriouS looking to engage, and he's got the Stalkers in first, the Colossus from a distance with that Thermal Lance upgrade doing a large amount of damage. He's split his army. I don't know if that was the best decision for Saviour. The Colossus doing such a large amount of damage. NotoriouS does have to back up. He's gotten the high ground advantage now, and from there I think the Colossus might be able to do a lot of damage. Look at that. The Roach is just melting under the Thermal Lance's pressure. Cannon's also doing a bit of damage, and I'm pretty sure NotoriouS is going to come out on top with this one, because the Colossus aren't being targeted at all. And yeah, look at that. All those Roaches just melting away, and that's got to be a GG for Saviour, because he just lost the army he's been building up all game. And I don't see how he can come back on this. He's got a few Zerglings around the map, but surely he is out of this one. So well played by NotoriouS, with a lot of pressure throughout the whole game. And there it is, no GG from Saviour. I don't think that was... He could have said something polite, but it happens. He probably wasn't happy. NotoriouS did well blocking this expansion early at the start of the game. A great idea against a Zerg opponent. He did get the spawning pool down first, though, trying to be a bit aggressive. It didn't pay off. NotoriouS blocked that expansion for way too long. Managed to get his own finished as Saviour was starting his, which as a Zerg player against a Protoss, you really don't want to be in that kind of situation. So yeah, this is the last video I'll post on this channel. My new channel will be in the description, and then there'll be an annotation linking to the channel on this video as well. If you could subscribe to the new channel, I would really appreciate that. Shout outs to Sassel for supporting me, and thanks very much. Cheers.